You want Philly, Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's easy to sum it up. We're talking about practice.
Because it's about as casual as it gets.
What's the problem now?
That's a clown question, bro.
I think we ought to turn the beat in there at least.
World champions! Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
Philadelphia, looking as only you can look. Woo!
Here we go, here we go.
And good evening, everybody. My name is Eric Perugini. I'm here with Chris Lahiff and Pat Houseman. This is another edition of the Philly podcast, presented by CEVSports.com, sponsored by La Terrain Watches and themonkeysuncle.net. Gentlemen, how are you tonight? All
awesome.
right, thumbs up. Oh, man. So we got, let's see, I'm sure you guys probably want to get into some of the Philadelphia Union. I know you guys are some soccer guys. We'd like to talk about that. And
I'll let Pat take the lead on that because he's got season tickets.
Yeah, right. Yes, he does. And
then we'll dive.
I guess we'll dive into the Eagles after that and some Phillies, I guess, with the free agency.
Hold on, I just want to point out that the Boba Fett series commercial is on right now, and I can't wait.
I'm excited for it. Have you watched the couple of shows that were out for the Hawkeye?
No, I'll watch that this week.
I did. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, so did I. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait for it. And I don't know what kind of fans you guys were, but I watched the 3-part series of the Beatles documentary, Get Back.
That I have to watch. I'm a big Beatles fan. I'm kind of just waiting. I'm waiting on that where I can actually watch it. Because nobody else in my family will probably enjoy that.
Right. Oh god, so good. You're gonna love it. It definitely gave me a new appreciation for them, like seeing how they interact with each other and everything, and all the for that 3-part series. Amazing show. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, the Hawkeye series is great. That's exactly how you're supposed to do a series. Like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like horrible show. Like, what's that look for, Chris?
I disagree, but
all right. So
we're not here to talk.
I'll solve it in one thing. Okay, at the end of Endgame, Captain America was who? It was going to be the Falcon, right? Bucky Barnes had moved past being the Winter Soldier. How did Falcon and the Winter Soldier end? Oh, with what's his name? The Falcon taking up the mantle of Captain America, and Bucky now feeling better about not being the Winter Soldier anymore. It was such a good character arc in the show. It was actually a character circle, so they didn't even need to do the whole show in the first place. That's why it was bad. There was no need for it. So, but anyway, talking about Union now.
Yep. Go for it.
So last year, Supporter Shield winners, best record in the league, shortened season, kind of a weird season, but probably a 1 or 2 team in the league should have went further than they did. They lost to the Revolution. The Revolution, this year they came out and they've been the best team from start to finish. And they got a good coach. Got Bruce Arena. He's a great coach, historic coach for U.S. soccer. That team kind of was on the up and coming. They were kind of on that crest, and they took us out early in the playoffs. Much more talented team last year. We had Brendan Aronson, we had Mark McKenzie in the back. So better team all around. You expected them to go further. They didn't. And this team, you've had a bunch of holdovers from last year. Really solid back four. And of course, Andre Blake, the goalie, best goalie in MLS, but really solid back four in Jack Elliott, Kai Wagner. They got Powell playing back there now because Bizo's out, and Jacob Glesnes, he's played every single minute this season. And then they got Jose Martinez playing defensive mid. So they're really good on that back five there, plus the goalie. That's been their bread and butter. They won their first playoff game, 123 minutes in, latest goal ever in MLS history to win it. Win the second one in PKs. Blake doesn't yield a goal in the biggest game in Union history. So again, we're bracing for a potential home game. I'm an NYCFC fan now, for at least for the next 24 hours until we see how that kind of plays out. But I would love a game in Chester against that team. They don't generally play us well down here. They usually play pretty well in that small little matchbox field they play in over at Yankee Stadium. So I would love to get NYCFC down here for a home conference championship game. And then, it's pretty open in the West right now. You got the Portland Timbers, who are the number 4 seed that have fought their way through. They generally play pretty well in postseason play. And you got RSL, Real Salt Lake, who's just been upset after upset. First round it was the Sounders. Second round was Sporting KC in just a brutal fashion, giving up a really late goal there. So soccer in Philly's been really good. It's been really good this year. The Union, as far as for highlights and really catching people's attention, didn't do as good a job this year. They were kind of more bland, getting played more of a defensive style. But, not to take anything away, they finished second in their conference. They had a good season, a little bit of a spurt in the middle where they didn't play well. But, man, they've been playing some good soccer. So it's been enjoyable to watch. Chris, you got anything to add?
No. Listen, I like soccer. I've always liked soccer. So, watching the Union and, 2 weeks ago, their first playoff game, I had Friendsgiving in my house, and all the guys were literally sitting in the living room watching the game. And again, when he scored that goal in the 123rd minute, I have no doubt in my mind that the neighbors 2 cul-de-sacs overheard us.
Oh, it's bedlam. It's great when they score. It's amazing.
Just at that opportunity,
Yep.
And then yesterday I came down, I was watching it. I watched the first half over a buddy's house. We watched the Eagles game, then we watched the Union game. And then, I came home and I watched the rest of the game in my basement by myself because Chase was upstairs and the girls were upstairs. And they went out to watch the Worldwide Disney Christmas special. I'm like, well, I'll go downstairs where it's peace and quiet. And, I'm clapping after every shot, after every save. Paul Blake from Necessary Roughness. He made those 2 saves, and then it was curtains. Because if you've ever played soccer, soccer is like football. It's mental because in that thing, you have to have the perfect shot. You have to have the perfect kick. And once your head's out of it, you're going to send the ball 15 rows into the stands, and that's exactly what happened.
I said that to my kids. I said, he's going to try to go. They're going to try to go low and initially because it's a safer shot. You miss a little high, it's still going to go in. Whereas if you aim top corner and you go a little too high, you miss the net completely. And once Blake made those 2 saves, it forced them to think, well, I got to go higher now. And it got right in their head. I told them, I said they're in their head now. And man, didn't concede a goal in kicks. It was great. It was a fantastic finish. So now they should have won an extra and before it even went to extra time. Gozdag's goal should have counted. I don't know why they called a foul on Santos. That was not a foul, but they got the win. They moved through. But yeah, just again, another bad call almost bit us in the ass again.
So, well, with that, I'm not taking the lead on this conversation because I'm not. Listen, I got no problem playing the role of heel, but the great Jalen Hurts had a bad game yesterday, but it's Jalen Reagor's fault. So, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Eric, and I'm going to sit back and listen.
Well,
I will comment, but when I badmouth Jalen Reagor, and when you see everything on social media, and I know it's social media. Social media gives the wrong voices gives the wrong voices an outlet. So, it is what it is. But I'm going to let you go, and I'll let Pat go. I know Pat's happy. The Pats are actually playing good again.
They're playing really good. Their defense is stellar right now.
Their defense was never an issue. That's Bill Belichick. This is a matter of buying in as a quarterback. And, Mac Jones is a rookie, and he's buying in.
I'm a fan of Mac Jones. I really am. They're
running the ball well, but we're here to talk about the great Jalen Hurts.
Well, look, I mean,
the great Carson Wentz has 21, and he's frozen, or I'm frozen. So
no, he's frozen, and it's a pretty funny face he's making too. As he's frozen.
It really is. Well, the great Carson Wentz has 21 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. So, I mean, if you want to comment and you want to debate, we can debate on here. I'm not debating in a comment section or in a text message over the value of Carson Wentz. But until Eric comes back on, let's talk about the Patriots.
So, I couldn't be happier with the way the team's playing. When you can run the ball, it makes things so much easier because, especially dealing with a rookie quarterback, because the guy's very seldom put in a situation where it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 13. He's usually dealing with like a 3rd and 4, which kind of favors his strength. You know, he could throw a short little pass across the middle, deadly accurate, and then they're moving the chains. And that's what they're doing. And of course, you know, obviously you guys said about the defense. Defense is, you know, they got a stellar back line there with Duggar, with Adrian Wilson, or I'm sorry, Adrian Phillips, McCourty, J.C. Jackson. Like, they just got a lot of guys back there that can really play. You know, the linebackers are a little bit older. You got Kyle Van Noy, Jamie Collins, but everybody can still get the quarterback. And Matt Judon's just been a stellar pickup. I think 10.5 sacks now. I think he's 3rd in the league. You know, another guy that they found, you know, diamond in the rough type, and he's come here and he's just been super productive. So, but now he's back. So,
yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. My iPad just shut down on me for some reason.
So Eagles Fly says, "Why you talk hurt? You guys are a joke. We had one bad game. He's had one bad game. He's 6-10, but he's had one bad game." I'm muting myself. Go ahead.
Well, look, before I say anything, it's like I'm putting it out there right now. It's like all I've ever said about Jalen Hurts was I didn't think he was a franchise quarterback, you know, and that he had I felt he had a lot of work that he had to do. Okay, and that's really the negative that I've ever said, and apparently people like Eagle Fly just seem to take that to heart. I don't understand. But what I didn't understand about this criticism or non-criticism of Jalen Hurts after yesterday's loss. Now, look, he was terrible. The wide receivers were terrible. Jalen Reagor was terrible. They were all terrible. Okay, and it gets to me that I've been told already that, well, you can't look at his 2 interceptions in the red zone because because they didn't mean anything towards the end of the game. Well, that's not true. 2 red zone interceptions. That means that he gave up the chances or he lost the chances for either 2 touchdowns, which game's over at that point. If you look forward to the end of the game, game's over, 2 touchdowns, or it was a touchdown and a field goal, or which is still game over, or 2 field goals, and the way the game played out, you're going to overtime. Now, I'm not going to criticize him when the wide receivers are dropping passes. Okay, that's, you know, if he's getting them the ball, it's their job to catch it. But don't overlook the importance of the 3 interceptions, or at least the 2 that were in the red zone. And then, not to mention, he was throwing. He should have had 5 interceptions, really, because he had a couple passes that he threw in a double coverage where they were very lucky that he wasn't intercepted again. And what I've read on social media today was everyone will sit there and criticize the wide receivers and give you the reasons why the wide receivers were bad. But then when you say, yeah, well, Hurts also played a role in that, all you've heard was them go, yeah, he had a bad game, but ... But that's the only criticism he got, was he had a bad game. Like, people are admitting that, yes, he had a bad game. Well, if you're going to go so strong on the wide receivers for having a bad game, and give me that Greg Ward dropped the pass, you know, that, oh, well, they didn't have Devontae Smith out, he wasn't getting targeted enough. Dallas Goedert wasn't getting targeted enough. Jalen Reagor dropped 2 potential game-winning touchdowns. And you start going into reasons why for them, but you can't give reasons for this man. Like, so I put it out on Facebook. I asked a question. Why can't people actually sit and give criticism other than, oh, well, yeah, he had a bad game, and then they push it under the rug and keep going? I don't understand. It's a team sport. He was bad. The wide receivers were bad. It was a bad coaching. Like, all around, the game was bad. So I don't understand why no one can talk bad about this kid. Is it because they wanted at one point, it was built up that Carson Wentz was going to be the guy, and it never came.
Fun fact: he was 7-9, not 6-10. Know your stats if you're going to come on here.
So, and we were let down because it never happened. The injury started happening, and to be quite fair, if I just brought up Carson Wentz yesterday, Carson Wentz balled out in that game against Tampa Bay and Tom Brady in the first half, but then in the second half, he did what Carson Wentz does. He basically threw interception at a clutch time in the game, and I mean they wound up losing the game. But he was having a great game up until then. But his first half and second half were completely different. So, but I think fans here were built up on Carson Wentz, and it never came. It never happened. He got hurt. He got hurt. Then the whole Nick Foles thing, and then he was hurt in 2018. They basically benched him, and the fans after last year just totally turned on him. I think people are afraid to speak out against Jalen Hurts, as that for one of the reasons that they're afraid that we're going to be stuck in this quarterback controversy again. I mean, and just wait till next week. If Jalen Hurts doesn't play and Minshew has to go in, which I think they're going to wind up sitting Hurts for the game for his ankle since they have the bye week the following week. I honestly think that's what might happen. Now, what's going to happen if Gardner Minshew goes out and has like a tremendous game? You're going to have this QB controversy again. I mean, we're talking at one point people wanted Nick Foles back to start over Carson Wentz because they felt he was better than Carson Wentz, but then they wanted Foles to back up Jalen Hurts because they felt Jalen Hurts was better than Nick Foles. I don't understand the thought process by the fan base. So I don't understand why they don't actually give criticism when it's rightfully so, other than, yeah, he had a bad game. Oh, well, throw their arms up and off they go. That's where I get upset with the fan base. So I don't know what you guys want to say, but that's my thing. It's like if you're going to give a detailed criticism on one side, you can't overlook the 4 total turnovers. You just can't. I mean, the head coach even said it. He said when you have those many turnovers, you don't get an A, B, C, or D. Well, what other grade is there? You get an F. He gave his own player an F. But people don't want to hear that. So, but he deserves criticism. 97.5, the Fanatic put out a poll. Yeah, 93% of people said he deserves criticism, but nobody gives it to him. And I just don't understand that. So one of you guys can go next.
Well, when I misread Billy's comment because I thought he was comparing, the first 16 games of Carson's career to Jalen's career. Listen, I'm not talking about Carson Wentz. Like, I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm not talking about Carson Wentz. I'm not talking about Jalen Hurts. I'm not doing it. It is what it is. Like you sit there and you read social media. This fan base would rather be wrong about Carson. Would rather be right about Jalen Hurts than be wrong about Carson Wentz. Plain and simple. I get text messages that say that Carson Wentz isn't a good quarterback. Well, the 134 touchdowns he has in 6 seasons says otherwise. The trash he threw to in 2019 says otherwise. He has this Greg Ward. Did Greg Ward ball out for Carson Wentz and not Jalen Hurts? Is that where we're at? Jalen Hurts just isn't a franchise quarterback. It is what it is. I wish he was. I praised him last week. I hope I'm wrong again next week. He lost to the Giants. He threw 3 interceptions. What else there's to say? I don't want to hear about Jalen Reagor and his 2 drops. I don't want or get Dallas Goedert not being a target. How about Jalen Hurts learns to read a defense instead of the one read and run to the right, or run one read and run to the left and get sacked? But no, because certain people want to sit there and say that I blow Carson Wentz. No, I just don't think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, and you would rather be right about Carson Wentz than wrong about Jalen Hurts. Plain and simple. That's all there is to it. Carson Wentz is balling out this year. Yeah, he had a bad second half yesterday. I watched some of the games. I don't know how that dude on Tampa Bay, caught that interception over Soldier. It's like an Eli Manning throw in the Super Bowl. There was no, I don't know how he caught it. You know, and look how the Giants won yesterday. They won on a touchdown that shouldn't, I don't know how he caught it. Like, it was a catch. I was like, it was, and then I showed it again. But like, how he caught it with his thigh and nothing else, it's amazing. You know, you're right. The coaching did let us down, you know, but then it goes like, does he not trust his quarterback? Does he not trust his quarterback?
Well, I really think that his whole game plan went out the door yesterday because of Jordan Howard. I really do. I don't think he knew how to use the. I don't think he realized like he still has a decent running game. Like they had over 200 yards rushing in this game, you know. But it was like he got away early from the run, like super quick. Like I don't think he trusts Sanders at running back. I really don't. Or else just play the game. He had to let it go out. They had to go back to the run because once again the pass was failing. So, he literally, Sirianni really just screwed the pooch, in my opinion.
So this dude's telling me about Lamar Jackson and 4 picks yesterday. My man, Lamar Jackson's an MVP quarterback. Jalen Hurts is nowhere near Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's got a better arm. He's got a better read. He can run the ball better. But, you know, good defenses shut down good running quarterbacks. We've seen it.
No,
you know,
don't get me wrong.
If the Ravens turn around and play the Patriots in the playoffs, we know Bill Belichick's going to make him throw the ball. We know it, and you know that's where Lamar Jackson's deficiency has been there. But Lamar Jackson is getting better week by week with that. Jalen Hurts isn't. He doesn't have a strong arm. When he throws that ball up in the air for Quez Watkins or anybody else, it takes too long. You don't have a strong arm in the NFL. That's fine. But listen, Drew Brees, he does not have a strong arm in the NFL when he played. But he had a quick release. He never held on it too long. And he made the throw. Things Jalen Hurts hasn't done yet. I hope he does. But, you know, I sit there and, you know, I rip Jalen Hurts and I'm the bad guy because I defended the previous quarterback. No, I'm a realist. Everyone else just like Bill would rather disagree with me than agree. Plain and simple. I put it out there. That's why I don't answer your text messages. I put it out there. You know, I ignore it, and you know this is why we're here. You want to discuss it? Come on. Otherwise, I'm not talking in the text message. And I don't this fly Eagles fly guy. Like, we want to get rid of every quarterback? No, that's you. You're the fan base wants to get rid of every quarterback. You fall in love with the backup. Nick Foles, Rodney Peete, like going back, Coy Detmer, AJ Feely. It's our history. It's just our history. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. And I'll admit to being wrong, but the history says it there. We all know why we love Nick Foles. No,
the city does have a history of liking the underachieving players. I mean, I've told you before, the one guy that I absolutely did not like in this town, well, not that I didn't like him. I mean, I loved his effort and everything, and it always goes back to Aaron Rowan. The guy was an average baseball player. He was good, and the city fell in love with him because he broke his face against the outfield wall. Like if Aaron Rowan was in Center City right now, someone would buy him dinner because, oh man, you're a Philly guy, and you're awesome and all that stuff. So we naturally like the underdogs here in this city, which I don't have a problem with that. Like I do love the underdog factor. I do love the guys that are hardworking and stuff like that. And let me say that real quick. I've never talked bad about Jalen Hurts' work ethic. I've never talked bad about his leadership qualities that he does show. Never once have I said that I did not think that. I just don't believe in the talent level that people are saying about him. Now, Pat, I know you were going to say something. I'm sorry. I want to let you get in.
Well, I mean, to answer the guy's question first, I'd rather have Heineke over Jalen Hurts because Heineke's a backup quarterback, and Taylor Heineke, as a backup quarterback, your job is to come in and win 1 or 2 games. That guy can actually do that for you because he possesses that skill set. to do that. Mentioned Drew Brees not having a strong arm, but being successful. When he came out of Purdue, he was a very polished quarterback, played in a system that was very pro-ready, good quick release, could work off of timing routes, things like that. When he got his shoulder injury when he was at the tail end of his time in San Diego, he lost that arm strength, but it really didn't affect what he did because, again, he processed information quickly. He got it out of his hand. Jalen Hurts does not come from the background. Everything was shotgun, quick read, or run. Not from the same stock. So that's kind of out the window. I don't think you can run that kind of offense with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, to me, is Tim Tebow with a nicer throwing motion. He's going to win you some games. If you have him in fantasy, he's going to put up some good stats for you. You're going to think he's a lot better than what he is. In reality, he's going to have really good games that you're going to be like, wow, he did really well today. And then he's going to have games like yesterday. And that's what you've seen this year. It's either been really good or really bad. And that's just like how Tebow was. It was really good some weeks for him. Other weeks it was like, wow, this guy can't play quarterback at all. And that's all dependent on the type of team that they play and how they're going to play him. Teams are going to stack the box on the Eagles. Now, they still ran the ball pretty well yesterday, but he really didn't. They shut him down. So as long as he sees that,
don't you dare besmirch the name of Tim Tebow.
As long as he sees that, he's going to continue to struggle, and Washington's going to give him hell because Washington still has enough guys on that defensive line that they're going to be able to bracket him in a little bit. He's not going to be able to run, and he's going to be forced to. They're going to make him throw to try to win those games, and I've seen nothing so far that tells me that he can make enough throws to go win you a game. But also not just to kind of go in on him at all. Coach Flowers. Not a good game at all by him yesterday. I don't understand the call. 8 seconds left in the game, or 8 seconds left in the half. You have no timeouts.
Hold on. I just caught that. Coach Flowers.
Yeah, Coach Flowers, Coach Bouquet. Yeah,
I totally missed it.
Yeah, 8 seconds left in the half. This was a typical AD Reid move. Oh, we don't make timeouts. It's okay. We'll just throw the ball into the ground and we'll get a field goal out of it. No, it throws an interception. And he probably was going to run out of time anyway because he took too much time. Like, stupid. You're down 3-0. You've been struggling on offense. 8 seconds left. Take the points. Get the hell off the field and go into halftime 3-3.
What did he prove in the final drive yesterday?
Who? Hurts?
Yeah, that's what this guy's saying.
Prove nothing. Did they win the game? No. So
wait. It's probably going to be he got the ball to the receiver.
They didn't win the game. And he was asked for every drive prior to that. So if we're gonna hang our hat on one drive, then let's talk about the whole game here because as a whole, that was not good. Hold
on. For real quick, you can get back to you. So the quarterbacks you first listed, 4 of them have been to a Super Bowl. 2 has got a better record over his first 16 games, better than Mr. Hurts. Zach Wilson, whatever. All right, Teddy Bridgewater. Big Ben's 48 years old. When he's not raping women, he's throwing interceptions. Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 pick on a bad Jaguars team. Your points are made. Tyrod Taylor, when he's not getting stabbed in the stomach, he's playing for the lowly Texans. So I mean, you're naming quarterbacks who are just the same as him.
Yeah, he's naming quarterbacks that are washed or just they're young and they're not good.
There's a reason Trevor Lawrence was the first overall pick. Jalen Hurts was a projected 4th round pick. Howie Roseman tried to be the smartest guy in the room. Back-to-back picks. Yeah, and he's in the worst. He's part of that. I would take Trevor Lawrence in a heartbeat over Jalen Hurts. And if you say you won't, then you're insane. I'm sorry. You're absolutely insane if you don't take Trevor Lawrence over whatchamacallit.
Yeah, that's just a stupid that's just a stupid comment. I mean, I don't understand that's like saying, well, Ted Bundy isn't that bad of a guy. John Wayne Gacy was much worse than him. It makes no sense, man. They're all bad. Your quarterback's part of that club right now. Do you really? Do you like? He's bunched in with all those guys. So does that make you feel good? And here you are defending him. It's just that's such an idiot comment. I don't understand.
Well, I still want to hear from this. What did he prove in that final drive? I still want to know that. Like, where'd you go, Eagle Fly? I want to know because I want to hear it. Because yesterday I was talking to a person, okay, and I shouldn't do it, and I actually. I'm going to take Bill's advice for once on something and stay out of some of these chat groups because someone said in one of the chat groups yesterday that I was in, said that Jalen Hurts was clutch because he delivered the football to Jalen Reagor twice. I said, well, how's that clutch? I said, he threw the ball. I said, that happens every single game, every single week when you're throwing deep to the end zone. I said, it's no different than me going out there during Thanksgiving and throwing deep to my best friend who's wide open and he drops the ball. I said, clutch is when, they make the play. I said, that's clutch. That's clutch.
There are guys in the NFL, and Jared Goff's one of them. Sean McVay proved it. Jared Goff can do enough things that can get you to a big game. He got to a Super Bowl. And then the Patriots completely confused them and they lost the game. All right. There's a skill set there that it was enough that you could win games with that guy. You can't win enough games with this guy. I got a better chance of waking up tomorrow with my face glued to my carpet than him going to a conference championship or a Super Bowl. There's no possibility. He doesn't have enough skills to be able to get a team there. And there's no system that they can design. I mean, they bring back the pistol that RG3 ran. It's still not going to help him. They're still not going to be good enough to be able to win with this guy. He just cannot make enough throws to win them a game, especially when he sees, more defenders in the box. And like I said, there's going to be teams that are coming up on the schedule. You're really going to see it against Washington. They got Washington They got Washington twice this year. You're going to see it. He's going to play awful in both those games. And he's going to play awful again against the Cowboys. The Cowboys have his number. I mean, those are going to be three very ugly games that look like how they looked yesterday. I'm calling it right now. And I want these guys to all come back and talk about it.
See, well, this thing makes me laugh. Leave the chat group, Cedric. Well, you're in a chat group right now. So anyway, I mean, literally, like, stop. I'm in a chat group. You know what? The crap that you just spewed on this chat, on our comment section, that's crazy. So bye. Now, this guy, read my comment. It's there. Y'all don't make sense. What comment? The one where you said he proved it in the final drive? He proved nothing in the final drive. Please, Eagle Fly, tell me, what did he prove?
All right, so
write it down. Type it down. Or hell, I'll send you a link right now so you can get on here and explain what did he do in the final drive.
All right, so we got a couple comments on my Facebook page. For some reason, it's not showing up. Drew McLean says he loved him some Coy Detmer. He forgot to put in Andy Dalton. Bill did. Charles Manson was a great neighbor.
I love it.
Absolutely.
And we wasted money on multiple backups and Hurts.
Scared. That's what that comment is. Scared.
So when we could have invested in a pure number one quarterback or another needed position. So it's that's where imagine imagine if he had Justin Jefferson and Devontae Smith yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, imagine what Jalen Hurts could have been. But unfortunately, he still threw 3 interceptions. You're not going to win a game when you turn the ball over 4 times. This Eagle Fly Eagle Fly, give me your email address. We'll bring you on right now, and you can talk to us like we're 5. Because I'm confused. And, if you want to get your point in, let me know. You can come on right now. All you need is a phone. But, you're making no sense about Jalen Hurts. He's going to prove us wrong. What's he going to prove us wrong?
He said that last week, too, by the way.
The guy hasn't beaten a good team yet. In any of his starts, he hasn't really beaten a good team. I don't.
Exactly, Barry. Like, he's right. Oh,
yeah.
Like.
And Barry, that's not even a good team either. Like,
he knows.
He knows he's a Giants fan.
He knows.
Yeah, that's not even a good team, man. So you hit the nail on the head right there. Like, before it was like, all right, well, they're beating bad teams, they're losing to good teams. It is what it is. But that wasn't even a good team that he lost to. That defense made him look silly all game.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, but like I said, I just wanted I just wanted an explanation of why can't anybody actually criticize him? Like there's some people that I don't know. That was my whole thing. Now, I mean, back to the actual game. What you call? Oh, you know what? Bill's a troll. I'm done. So, um, so yeah, I'm sitting there. I'm watching the game yesterday, and I was like, damn. Now I'd said it we'd said before that one of these games coming up was going to be, a trap game. Somebody was going to figure out how to beat this team which, by the way, they were on an epic tear with their rushing stats over like the last few games. They had one stat where no one had broken it, or no one had broken it since 1977. That was the year I was born. So for 44 years there was a rushing. I'm so horrible because I didn't write it down, but there was a rushing stat that the Eagles broke the rushing record in a 4 or 5 game span for how many yards they got in a game, how many yards they had in a game, and then how many yards they had total. I mean, it was amazing. Sirianni at one point he had found a system that worked to go along with Jalen Hurts' skill set, because for 7 games we saw trying to throw all the time wasn't working. So he changed it up a little bit, and that was great. It was working, okay. Maybe it was fool's gold that everybody was falling in love with. I mean, hell, I was starting to too. I mean, because and they did. You're right. And I forget who it was. One of their defensive backs came out and said after the game, that was their game plan. They wanted to force Jalen Hurts to beat them by throwing the football, because they know he can't just yet. He's not polished enough yet. So,
well, the other thing that gets overlooked too about the running game, and this is going to hurt the Eagles going forward, is Kelsey.
What in the hell is this comment? Every QB has picks, but it's the heart of a champ to put your team in positions to win. When did he do that? In this last game, when did he do that? Dude, stop eating the paint chips. Get this thing off of my screen. Come on.
What's really going to hurt the Eagles and hamper them over the next few games is going to be the health of their offensive line. Yes, Driscoll's down, losing Kelsey, and
that was big.
Well, because if you watched like a lot of the big runs they've had over the course of the last 3 weeks, you have Kelsey pulling out of center and getting out there as a lead blocker, and he's athletic and he's really good at doing that. So when you have him in there clearing space for you really peel off those long runs. And even if he plays but he's not healthy, you're still not getting that. You're not going to get that explosiveness out of an offensive lineman. So it's going to hamper him one way or another, and losing Driscoll's a big loss. And again,
that is a big loss.
That offensive line's built to run block more so than they are built to pass block, and that's why they've been the key as to why they've been able to run the ball. But I don't know. They're going to struggle, and that's going to compound a lot of the problems we're seeing.
Oh man, we got to have Barry back on again.
Yeah,
that was
definitely.
something.
You know what? I didn't even think about bringing him on with the Giants game, but we'll definitely have him on again.
Barry's showing his age too. I know it's a Rick James reference and everything, but nobody does coke anymore, man. It's all meth, man. Come on, everybody's on meth now.
Come on. No, you know what's funny? I know it's Rick James, but every time I see that, I just think of Dave Chappelle telling the story. I just do. It's great. This is so great. That's so funny.
I don't understand your comments. Like you're all chat, y'all make no sense, but you're not making any sense. Again, listen. All we're doing is we're a bunch of guys talking live, talking about football, the frustrations, talking sports.
By the way, we have 9 people watching right now. We will flash your off again.
Thank you, 9. He keeps watching, so I mean, he obviously
that's the funny thing.
Well, listen,
he's still here.
Hold on, I appreciate him watching.
So do I.
Like I do. Like I
just for the record,
his input. Like if you're gonna comment us, do something. Like have some sort of argument other than the heart of a champion, and now it's 10 people.
All right, we're growing.
Well, we mentioned drugs, so now we're getting that element in here. That's great.
He probably just picked his face up out of his cocaine pile. That's why. Oh, yeah.
We're winning the Monday Night Wars.
There we go.
But he's had multiple bad games in his career. He's had 7 bad games as opposed to 5 good games.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This guy, he put the ball where it needed to be. Yeah, he did. And what happened? They didn't catch the ball. Just because he put the ball where it needed to be doesn't mean anything unless they catch the ball. All right, and number one, that first touchdown dropped catch that Chris went away. But that first dropped touchdown catch by Jalen Reagor, number one, if your boy Eagle Fly was a polished quarterback like you want him to be, he would have led the receiver and gave the guy space to stretch out for the ball instead of hitting him in the helmet with it. That's another thing. It's like, I'm glad he was able to get the ball downfield and give Reagor the chance to go for the catch.
Hold on. Breaking news. Brian Kelly's leaving Notre Dame as LSU's head coach.
Really?
It just came across.
Wow.
Bill, you're Notre Dame. Is that? I mean, it's on ESPN, so I'm assuming it's legit.
Wow. How about that?
My guess is that guy couldn't deal with the pressure of Notre Dame anymore. I mean, that is a hellacious job. He's been there for
right there. I'm watching it now.
I guess it's been a decade now, right? They played Alabama. Yep. That was Trent Richardson, Alabama. So it's got to be about 8-9 years.
Yeah, that's pretty. Wow, that's shock.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bill. I didn't know I was at gymnastics. I just saw it. I didn't even get the alert on my phone.
Well. Yeah, see, and Barry's got it right. Reagor sucked. That's not on Hurts, but you can't give the QB all the credit. See, the excuse when they lose. See, he's right. He's right. Like, people are finding ways to just constantly give praise when he just had one of his worst games ever. Like, you can't tell me I'm wrong when every single person is talking about it. You can't tell me I'm wrong when they're specifically bringing up how bad his decision making was at throwing the football during the game. Like, the announcers were bringing this up. Like, you can't sit there and say, oh, because he threw the ball, he's good. That's what a quarterback does. They throw the ball.
So he
play the position to throw the ball.
So he's sitting there and he's talking about his losses are on the defense. And I'll give him the defense does let long drives up. But
they were.
He threw 17 times against the Chargers. That means you didn't trust him against Justin Herbert, who's going to be a stud. Like, you threw 14 times against Detroit, which, all right, I get that. You threw 23 times against San Francisco against Jimmy Garoppolo. So, I mean, your arguments are, like, they're not making any point, bud. I want you to come on next week and talk.
He won't.
If you want, no. Listen, I'm being serious. I'm trying to be civil. Like, and I'm the guy who's the least civil one out of all of us. I'm the one who gets all hype. I'm the one who does this. I'm the one who does that. I'm like, this is the problem. Here's what. Right, and James Franklin got a 10-year deal. That I don't even know. Like,
yeah, I mean, if you want to talk some college football, that's crazy.
Like, him leaving Notre Dame, whatever, that's fine. But James Franklin at least Brian Kelly gets Notre Dame into the playoffs. Like, in the 10 years he's been there, at least I feel like 6 times they've been in the top 4. And as much as I hate Notre Dame, it makes no sense that James Franklin got a 10-year contract. It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I feel bad for what, 10 years is it? 10 years is that contract?
Yeah, it's 10 years. 2031.
It'll be 2031. I can't believe that's 10 years away. Like, Jesus Christ.
and Bobby Bonnet will still be getting paid by the Mets. But like, here's the problem I have with Jalen Hurts. If you get into a shootout, you can't trust him.
Oh, if you get in a shootout, I have no faith. I really don't.
Like, it's
and teams know that.
And that's where I'm trying to explain to you, Eagles Fly. if you would have watched our show last week, I did nothing but jump on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon. Everybody watching knows I did. I got text messages. I'm on the Hurts bandwagon. I'm not rooting against the guy. I'm not. But when he plays bad, win or lose, he deserves the criticism. He would have got criticized yesterday if they lost. He would have got criticized yesterday if they won, and it would have been more deserving. But because Jalen Reagor dropped 2 balls in the end zone, one, he had his friggin' eyes closed. Why? Why are your eyes closed? You're not Mr. Miyagi. Keep your goddamn eyes open. All right? Like, seriously. And then the second one, there was no one around him. Like, if he would have got hit and then the ball popped out, he just dropped it.
All he had to do was catch the ball and fall backwards.
That's all he had to do. He was in the end zone.
That's all he had to do. He was
there.
It was
at least a first down.
I mean, it went through his hands.
But again, that goes back to reading the offense. Smith was wide open running down. He ran a post. He was up and down.
And with that play, when Smith makes his cut, if Hurts had thrown the ball to him, that would have been a catch because the first down marker was on the 17-yard line. That would have been a catch. Smith would have gone out of bounds, would have had first down, clock not moving, and we don't know what would have happened from there. But that's how that play should have worked out. And Sirianni said that he was the number one option on that play.
Devontae Smith probably would have scored because you go back and look, there was no one on that side.
He might have.
A safety would have had to come over and would have had to dive and make a spectacular play. Like McKinney would have had to dive from the middle of the field.
Like Barry's saying here, like he's asking that guy to explain the pick at the end of the half. Now, it cost points. Both those red zone INTs potentially cost either 6 points or 14 points, or one in the middle. It literally.
Oh my God!
So wait, what play is he talking about? The same one where he just proved that on the final drive he's the guy to get the job done. He's now saying that he wasn't in position to throw. Is that what you're saying, Fly Eagle Fly? You were literally just saying that on that last drive he proved to you that he can get the job done, but now he's not in position to throw. Wait, dude, mind blown. Wasn't in position to throw at the moment. Look at it. Are you talking about that play that we're just talking about with
He's going back to like the Andy Reid soundboard. Like, I didn't put my guys in a position to win. He wasn't in position to throw. He's mentioned that like he wasn't in position to do whatever like 5 or 6 times. He's just muttering whatever's coming to his head at this point. He was happy. Let's just put it this way. That guy right here, Eagle Fly, was happy that they got rid of Carson Wentz. So because he was happy they got rid of Carson Wentz, the chips are all on the table for this guy now. And nothing's ever going to change his mind. He's going to think that, this was the right decision to go with this guy all along. So he's pot committed at this point. It's okay. It's what it is. We know. You don't got to lie anymore. You don't got to post anything else. So you're just, you're committed at this point. You bought in. That's kind of the end of it.
I got nothing.
What play? Eagles fly. Tell me what play. Are you talking about the end of the first half or are you talking about the end of the second half? Tell me what play you're breaking down that he had the defense on him.
For the people that are, watching right now, Eagle Fly is the cat meme. That's what he is right now. He's just typing away. I don't know what he's I don't know. Look at the tape.
He loved Wentz.
I did look at the tape on the final play. Devontae Smith had his hands up like this. He had plenty of time to throw the ball. Go back and watch the play on YouTube. Devontae Smith had plenty of he had the ball up. He beat his guy on his route. Devontae Smith best attribute coming out of college was he was a great route runner, and that's what he was. And he beat his guy on his route. It was the grass, the end
zone. I'm sorry, I can't. You called him Jon Snow.
My whole thing is like, Eric, you're good at like editing and everything. after this podcast, do us a favor. Just cut up all the little bites here of what Eagle Fly said, and please send this to NFL Films. I mean, he's a great film analyst here. I mean, obviously, they're missing out. So we should try to get him a job over at NFL Films.
I gotta admit, I was late to the party tonight, getting everything set up, and I wanted to get that final play because it's all you've been seeing all over, like on Twitter today and people talking about it. I wanted to get that last play, and I wanted to break it down and put it up tonight so we could watch it and watch it over and over again, But I that was my fault. I came home and I had other stuff going on. But yeah, so yeah, I don't understand. But yeah, Barry's right. You throw the ball away. Like even LaShawn McCoy tweeted out, this is high school football. You throw the ball away. This is high school. This is high school ball. That basically is what he was saying about Jalen Hurts. Seth Joyner tweeted out that he was making terrible decisions all day long. So I mean, you got two former Philadelphia greats.
Hold on one second.
What? What's up? Oh, very good. You brought it up on YouTube. Nice. Right there, wide open. Well, putting his arm up in the air. He's coming across, hand up. Over his shoulder, you have that catch.
So you tell me where he didn't have time. Tell me.
They got up there now.
Tell me where
they
he
don't
didn't
care.
have time.
They're going to run it anyway.
I was going to say replay it again because he's saying that at the moment Smith's hand goes up.
He's still in the pocket moving around.
His head's not downfield. He's not looking off different receivers.
He wasn't scrambling. He was moving in the pocket. That's not.
But
scrambling.
even his head's still supposed to be downfield though, and his head's not downfield. His head's looking for people around them. He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Again, that's basic positioning.
All right. Well. I'm going to go with Bill, and let's just talk about the Flyers for 5 minutes, and then we can sign off. The Flyers are a goddamn train wreck. 18 players on the Islanders got COVID. They canceled the game, and I don't even know if the Flyers would have been able to beat them.
Oh man,
I can't. No, we're talking about the Flyers. Fly, Eagles, fly.
No, I am. I'm not even looking. I'm off of the off the chat board.
It's a shame that I went to that game because they have not played well since I
You know what?
I damn the Eagles. I had a good time though. It was Star Wars night. I saw Chewbacca. That made it great for me.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So, but my thing is this: it's like the Flyers. Like what is going on? Like they can't seem to do anything right. Like they finally got the goaltending, and their offense looks like me looks like me and Bill trying to score in our 20s.
Well, Hart, it looks like he's, I don't know, it looks like he's lost some confidence again, which
I totally disagree.
Well, no, there's a couple. He's not playing like Carter Hart. He had a stretch for a little while there where he was really on point, but lately he's been regressing a little bit. Like it's been being talked about in the NHL community. I've been following that. And people are saying that he's not looking exactly right, which I'm not that great at looking at like a goalie and seeing. So, I mean, I'm going off of what the NHL people are saying.
What NHL people? I'm being serious.
Kevin Weeks, former goalie.
Okay. All right. No, I didn't.
So
the only reason I asked is because obviously we were talking about social media, and I thought like maybe.
Yeah. No, when I'm saying NHL people, I don't mean guys like Fly Eagle Fly over here telling me that Jalen Hurts has got a rocket for an arm, and you know what I mean. So no. When I'm saying that, that's what I mean. Like,
listen.
Yeah.
If they lose any more games this week, Rick Tockett's got to be the head coach. Something's got to happen. Like AV,
I don't know.
Whatever it is with AV, he's not clicking. It's not there.
Well, he's always had that with his players too. Like he's good, but he doesn't trust the young guys. He clashes with the veterans. I don't know what his style is and what he tries to do to get the most out of everybody. I really don't. Like I'm confused.
They don't seem to be playing like a team that really wants to play for the coach anymore. Like I said, I'm not the resident hockey guy here. I probably watched the least amount of hockey on this network, but the game that I saw, they were not the first. The Bruins beat them to every loose puck. They were just not sharp. They were not on the puck. And anything that was like a 50-50 play, the Bruins came away with. And that's a team that just seems like it lacks energy, lacks guidance, just things like that. So, I know they change coaches in hockey like underwear. So it probably is time for this guy to go.
Oh, yeah, something's definitely got to change.
Listen, they're 3 for 46 in their power play. The last.
Yeah,
that's been a problem, though. Yeah, that's been a problem.
Think about how hard that is to do.
Well, when he first got here, I believe he fixed the power play for the most part, and then like the last 2 seasons, he's been awful.
It's either got to be him or it's got to be Michael Tyrien.
Yeah.
And Ian LaPerriere was on the power play unit last year as well as a coach, and they're just not good. And look at the Phantoms; they're 3-8-4.
Yeah, it's a like franchise wide, like kind of I want to say pandemic with the power play, like all over.
But it's funny because you sit there and you talk about like how long we're going with AV. Peter Laviolette got fired 4 games into a season when they scored 3 goals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen, and Laviolette is a lot like AV. It's like you can only take him, you can only buy into the system for so long. He'll be successful. He'll get you to the Stanley Cup. He'll win you one. He's been to the Stanley Cup with 3 different franchises: Carolina, Flyers, and Nashville.
Yep.
Like I forget where he's at now, but it's
I don't know.
But it's like it's stuff like that like we have to make these changes. Like hold like as much as we want to hold players accountable, and I'm all for it. You got to hold coaches accountable.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, you do.
Oh, he's the Washington Capitals head coach. Yeah, cool. Let's get Alexander Ovechkin, the Washington Capitals. That seems fair. He's 145 goals away from tying Gretzky's record. I think if he plays, he's going to beat it.
The guy just scores at will, and it's like he just doesn't lose the shot. Like he's still a sniper. Ovechkin is amazing.
Well, he's a genetic freak. I mean, his
really
size, his athleticism
Bill,
for that size, and just his quickness and speed. He's a freak. He guy's a freak.
Bill, me, Paul, and Griff talked about this on the Tendies. Don't be surprised.
If they put LaPerriere as a head coach.
We talked about
Lappy
it
the job.
Yeah. I get it. You took a puck in the face 11 years ago, but he's literally struggling with the young guys.
Yeah.
We have a lot of young guys. We have a lot of young guys up here, and I get it. Like, Ryan Ellis is out. Kevin Hayes is out. Whoever else is out. Like, people are struggling. Giroux's struggling. TK's struggling. Ivan Provorov.
Ellis, how bad was that deal to get him? This guy had he hasn't. When was the last time he saw the ice?
Look at Kevin Hayes. It's the Flyers' way. James Van Riemsdyk can't do anything.
Yeah, he's another one, man. He just seemed to his game
just clogging the money up. I don't know. And it's you sit there and you think about what could have been. Like JVR, could have been a Seattle. I was about to say Mariner, but a Seattle a Seattle Kraken, and that's another franchise that with Dave Hackstall.
I'd rather have drunken Steve Coates over Ian LaPerriere.
So would I.
That's funny.
But that's just the way it is, and I forget what I was completely talking about. I completely drew a blank.
You said something about how JVR could have been a Kraken.
Oh, how JVR could have been Kraken, and you just look at the Seattle Kraken and how they built their team. Like they built their team like it was the '90s with the Senators and the Sharks. There was a lot more like opportunities. JVR could have went to what's his name? JVR could have went to Seattle. Then we could have turned around and possibly traded Voracek for Tarasenko, and then made a trade to get Cam Atkinson. Like these were all the deals that were supposed to go down, and the Kraken just threw a wrench in. I think everyone's everyone's plans. And as good as Tarasenko's playing for St. Louis, he's not happy. And there's nothing we can do to trade for him. Who are we going to trade?
Yeah, there's nothing.
You would
There's
have to
nothing
trade.
at this point.
You would have to
Yeah,
trade
there's
Giroux.
absolutely nothing at this point that they could trade. And yeah, would they take Giroux? And do you want to trade Giroux? That's the thing. It's like, I mean, that would be sending a message, all right. You're trading the longest tenured player in the city.
Listen, if they're not going to be competing, Giroux's getting traded. It's inevitable. You can get a decent haul for him.
Well, you can, and you know what? That's funny that you said that too, because hockey is the one sport where it's like they're not afraid to take older players. You know, like someone will take an older player because
they're different. They're different animals, hockey players.
It's a completely different breed of how they do work. You know, it really is. I mean, now, okay, granted, it's different when you have a guy like Ray Bourque back in the day who everyone wanted him to win a Stanley Cup, so Boston traded the guy. So they traded him to Colorado because everyone was going to Colorado, and he won a Stanley Cup and retired and skated off into the sunset with Lord Stanley above his head. You know, but yeah, hockey's a completely different breed. It's like if they see somebody that deserves to win a championship, they'll be like, "Oh, you know what? We're in the best position to let that guy win." Oh yeah, sure. Here, take a draft pick for him.
Like you said, who was it? Fucking Bill. Jesus Christ. He got put on waivers today, and I love it. Right. Was it Bourque?
Him and Taka together, that'd be great.
Yeah. Was it Bourque who got traded to Colorado?
Yeah, it was Ray Bourque. Oh, I'm sorry, as they always said, Raymond Bourque. They had to call him by his first name.
You know what? Name. You know who I thought of for some reason? I thought of Paul Coffey because they're both 77.
Oh no, we were the ones that got Paul Coffey.
We got Paul Coffey when he was literally 93 years old, and then
but he actually had a productive season.
And
until he ran into Eric Lindros on New Year's Eve, and Eric Lindros put him in concussion protocol for the rest of his life. Like they collided at center ice, and he murdered him.
Yeah, you're right though. Adam Oates, I remember that because I remember everybody. Oh, he went away. I remember that too. Like everybody was so upset that they traded the goalie prospect Maxime Ouellet. I'll never forget that. They traded him. People were so mad because they thought he was going to be the next big goalie. We got Adam Oates, and Adam Oates did. I did. I always liked Adam Oates too, but I mean, but back then it was a classic case of the Flyers getting the way over the past their prime player, and they have a decent season for either a rental or a full season, and they're gone.
Right, and you know what? And it's as much as that was a little bit of an annoyance. Ed Snyder tried to bring a cup to the city. He tried.
He did.
And that's the thing that I always loved about him. Other than bringing the old guys, like the old players, back into the franchise doing something, but he tried so hard to get the best players at a skill position. To maybe that was what that team needed over the hump. And in hockey, that's generally the case. In hockey and in basketball, that's generally the case. Like you need one player and he's a veteran. That trade usually helps out. You don't do that in football.
No.
You don't do it in basketball. It's usually hockey and baseball. Did I say basketball?
Yeah, you did. You did.
I meant hockey and baseball. Because there's that one guy who could lead you over the hump. Like, look at the Blue Jays, as good as they were in the 90s and they won the World Series.
Right.
For them to get better, they signed Paul Molitor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they won back-to-back. And he was old.
He was old. Yeah.
It's stuff like that will work for teams. Like, I sit there and say all the time, I was like, when the Sixers traded Dikembe for Dikembe Mutombo, I was like, he's old, but we got to the conference finals with it. We got to the finals.
You got to the finals.
We don't have him. We probably don't we probably don't win the ECF.
He wasn't that old because I think he played for another decade after that.
Well, I mean,
well, he did play. He did play a few more years, but for us, he was old at the time. Like because he had a long expiring contract. I think it was because didn't he have to re-sign with the Sixers for a little bit? Because I think he was there for a couple more years before they traded him again. But
yeah, somebody and Derek Kuntz just I hate saying his name. He commented. He says he's as a beloved fan of New Jersey, one of 4 teams to win the cup and not the playoffs next year. He's never wrapped his head around the Flyers, how they never built a dominant roster for a multi-year span. He said the closest they were the Legion of Doom, and he's 100% right.
He's right.
He's 100% right.
He's right. He really is right.
It was like they had that line, and then they didn't have anything else.
They had that line. They had that line, and Eric Desjardins on defense. That was it.
And if it got shut down in the playoffs, it was curtains.
Yeah. Well, we saw it when Detroit swept us. Like, it was so funny too with that finals because nobody, especially on the East Coast, really knew anything about Detroit. Like, they were quiet all year long, but they were playing great.
You know what it was? And that was the start of their
dynasty.
There you go. I couldn't think of the word.
It was the start of the Detroit dynasty, Scotty Bowman and all that stuff. So I mean, by rights, like looking on paper, going into that finals, like the Flyers were favored, and Detroit just wiped the ice with our faces, just took us out. They were so fast. Like for as quick as Lindros was for a big guy, he couldn't catch guys like Sergei Fedorov. He couldn't catch them to hit them.
No.
And he just couldn't do it. But hockey was always one of those sports where I just find it so funny how they'll just trade somebody on a whim for nothing and get this player and put him over the hump. Basketball, you can't do that because you have to have the contracts match. Like their whole system is just completely screwed. Football, yeah, you have your free agent signing or like I think you have your trades like for Jalen Ramsey's and Khalil Mack's, and okay, that's good for the defense. It doesn't really go far. It doesn't do much.
Can I point out that Matt Stafford's 9-70 versus teams with a winning record?
Really?
He's 9-70. Like, oh my God, he goes to the Rams. They're going to the Super Bowl. They're this, they're that, and they've lost 3 in a row or 3.
Well, I mean, you got to admit though. I mean, most of that record is with the Detroit Lions. I mean, for a while, he was like the only guy that they, for a little while, he was like the only dude that they had other than Megatron. When you only have, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still losing the teams right now in
he's still
the
losing
Rams.
To him,
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, listen, the Detroit Lions are just they're just an absolute. I don't understand how a franchise can be so bad. God bless those fans. We're complaining about Jalen Hurts. Jesus Christ.
When you're with a losing organization sometimes like that for a prolonged period of time, you forget how to win. It's the little things that you end up missing. You're not. There's not that culture of let's get in early. Let's make sure that we're checking all the boxes here. You never adapt to that lifestyle. Yeah, and that's why it's important to have the right culture in your organization. That's why it matters, and that's why teams like you look at Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's a great quarterback. He's going to be a great quarterback, but I don't know if that team will ever have that type of culture because from the ownership down, they're losers.
Right.
So will it ever develop there? Will they ever be able to recognize a coach? Because ultimately, they're going to have to get a coach in there that's going to bring that kind of mentality. Are they ever going to recognize a coach and say, "Yeah, you know what? That guy's an actual leader." Because if you're not a leader, it's hard to see leadership in another person. So that's what always kind of hamstrings these teams. That's why the Lions have sucked for my entire life.
Yeah, they really did. They really did.
All right.
He was already drafted.
All right. So, well, on that note, Sixers won.
Draft you.
Sixers won, so they broke their losing streak.
That's good. Yo, and let me say, for Embiid, after missing all that time, that dude came back. He was just a monster. He really was. Yo, what's up, P.
What's
Will?
Up? That's Pat. So I think we're on there. I think we're on. Yeah, we started using their Twitch.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, I put it on there Twitch by mistake, but good. I like it's on there. What's going on, Pat? I know who you are. Hey, Pat, how about them Union? Pat's a big Union guy. We got to do a Union. We got to do a Union show. Me, Pat, and Pat.
I'm for
Yeah,
it.
you guys will have a good time with that.
So
That'll be a night that I take off. I'll go drown my sorrows from the Eagles debacle in Wendy's food.
As I said, do they have a time for the Union game yet? I know it's to be determined, and tickets
I think
are on
it's
sale.
3:30.
Come on, man! Why couldn't they make it like 4:30?
I wish.
Watch the Eagles and then the Union. I mean, I don't care. I'll watch both.
I'm watching the Union, so that's the biggest game in club history. So,
well, yeah. They should blow out Zach Wilson and the Jets.
Yeah.
Then watch the Eagles and Flyers lose that day.
It was a good day. Listen, the game was great. You know,
I saw the highlights. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a soccer guy, so
soccer's not for everybody.
But I will say though, like Pat brought up a good thing. Is like when teams score, I do love how like when teams score, like how everyone just goes nuts. It's like the greatest thing in the world. I worked a few World Cup games at the link, and let me tell you, man, every time someone would score, which is like 2 times in a game, but I loved it. I look at the fans. I'm like, these guys are going nuts.
So the last game, not the game, this game, the last game, when they scored in the 123rd minute. When people score, generally in soccer, everyone celebrates. You never see the goalie run the length of the field, and you never see the coach run. And they both ran, and they all jumped in. Like, it's stuff like that as a soccer fan, you got to appreciate.
Absolutely.
So...
Down the street.
Frankfurt and Cotman. I'm going to Parkwood. So it's
the sad part is, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, I'm just saying he's right. It's a very boring sport to watch. Again, listen, baseball is boring. You just got to be built differently to watch baseball. I love watching sports in general. I friggin' watch. I watch anything really. I was like during quarantine. I was watching replays of cornhole. Like I didn't have to watch that, but I'm like, let me watch it.
Let me tell you what I've gotten into watching lately. Like I see it pop up. I forget what channel. The Drone Racing League. I absolutely love it. I mean, I know I would not. That thing is too fast for me. I'd be crashing all over the place. But I get dizzy watching it, and I'm like, yo, this is great though. Like freaking drones. These guys are flying drones around. I love it.
That's pretty funny. All right, so we'll end that note with a Go Union. Doop 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 doop.
I hate that song. I hate that song.
Well, it got adopted by the Union for their song.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know about the Union. I know. Like, by the way, you and Rich are funny. I'm like, oh, who's that? You're like, the Union, the Philadelphia soccer team. I'm like, idiots. Like, I'm being sarcastic. Idiots.
well, Bill may have not known.
Oh my God.
Although he probably bet on them, but he would have lost because they didn't win in regular time.
Bill bet never.
Dude. All right. Well, listen.
Sounds like when I let one go.
Right. So, oh Jesus. So we do appreciate everyone hopping on, even you, Eagle Fly. We've had our
yes, we do appreciate you.
We will be back on next Monday at 9. You know, Pat will be joining us a little later because he's got basketball practice. Hopefully, we're talking about an Eagles win. The Phillies have made some significant signings because the Mets spent $254 million today.
Did you see that deal that Scherzer got?
You know what? People sit there. People are like, I'm like, the guy throws nothing but gas. He doesn't do anything.
I got no problem with it. But I got no problem with it.
But the Mets are still the Mets. They're going to Mets somehow. I'm not scared of the Mets. You know, it's like they. I mean, come on. Are you serious? They got Noah they got rid of Noah Syndergaard. Marcus Stroman's going to probably sign with Seattle. They're losing pitchers. They have Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer was shown a little kryptonite last season. He was beatable in the postseason. You know, that could carry over into the regular season. You know, I mean, I don't think it will. I think he's ridiculous with his 2 eyes, 2 different color eyes. Freak.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's right. He's got the two different
But
color eyes.
the thing with him, he's almost Nolan Ryan-esque because he just throws heat. He doesn't throw any like ridiculous curveball splitters. He doesn't put that thing on his elbow. He doesn't put that damage and that strain on his elbow. It's probably why he'll probably pitch all 3 seasons. Hold on, how about this? On top of his contract, he's getting $15 million in deferred money from the Nationals. He's getting paid $58 million next year.
From the Nationals?
Yeah, he's getting paid $15 million. So on top of his contract, he's from the Mets. He's getting $15 million from the Nationals. He's going to make $58 million next year, whether he pitches or not.
For 1 season. Oh, my God. That's insane. See, that's why I get so, like, annoyed with these contracts. Because I'm like, you are not worth that kind of money.
I don't even want $1 million, Pat. Give me like half. Give me a $500,000. I don't want to be greedy.
Dude, yeah, I'm not going to be greedy either. Give me something I can pay off my house. Let me own my own house. That's all I care. Give me something. I mean, hell, maybe I don't know. Maybe if you want to be nice, throw me a Tesla. I don't know. But
I like him. He's like, I'm being greedy, but he's gonna make He's gonna make $58 million next year.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
And it's funny, all these contracts are being handed out. These 10-year deals. And then Drew just commented and said the Mets are going to Met. When these contracts are over, the Mets are going to still be paying Bobby Bonilla. Think of these guys are signing 10-year deals, and Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid when their contract's over. Like, if that's not,
what is it? $1 million a year?
It's $1 million a year to like 2035.
That's awesome.
Like. That dude's like he has to. I haven't seen Bobby Bonilla in years. He's got to be sitting down eating bonbons because what else? He has no reason to work.
I don't remember why he was no longer in baseball. I don't remember. Like, did he get hurt or did
he was just broken
out?
down? He was old. He was old and broken down, and then they lost the money in the Bernie Madoff stuff.
Yeah,
that's right.
He was broken. Right, exactly like you said, broken down. Bernie Madoff. And they're like, well, listen, we'll defer the rest of your contract over 30 friggin' years. And he's like...
He said sold.
Right. Like,
that's crazy.
July 1st is Bobby Bonilla Day.
I can't believe the damn Washington Redskins are beating the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. I mean,
17-9 with 4:10 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, well, someone's going to be bragging about that.
Oh, yeah, because every game's easy.
Every game's easy in the NFL. All right. Well, peace out. It's actually been a fun show. Thanks to Fly Eagles Fly, Bill, Pat, Rich.
I actually like that guy. I actually like him. I mean, I'm glad that he's such a homer. I'm glad he's invested. I'm invested
too.
He was more rational. I just wish he was more rational.
I'm invested too. I had them winning 6 games in a row last week.
Oh, man, imagine if they lose to the Jets.
If they go on a 4-game losing streak, you have to bench them. I don't care.
We'll see what happens. Well, all right. On that note, gentlemen, it was great talking to you guys. Everyone, thank you for joining in tonight. It's been fun. Another fun and riveting show of the Philly podcast, and we got up to 10 views tonight. This is flipping awesome. We're growing. We're putting on our big boy pants.
Yeah, for some reason, the other views didn't show up when I put it on my Facebook, but I don't care. We still got the views. I'll do the view count later on.
It's all good. It's all good. So, anyway, everyone, again, thank you for everyone checking in. It was awesome. Bill, thank you. Fly Eagle Fly. Barry, awesome to talk to you anytime. So, and we got to get you back on. So, all right, everybody, that's it. I'm Eric. He's Chris. That's Pat. And that's the end of the Philly podcast. Have a good night.
Good night.
Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's easy to sum it up. We're talking about practice.
Because it's about as casual